The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
This is a really strange story. There was this program on the Learning Channel, TLC, about, it's called My Strange Addiction. And one came across my desk, a number of people sent it to me, about Andrea from Marietta, Georgia, who is addicted to eating tape, like scotch tape, cellophane, sellotape, I guess is what it is, not scotch tape. And she reports that she eats about 6,000 feet of it every single month. Here's a few seconds of this show, and I have a few thoughts about this. Let's take a listen.
I actually brought you over here to tell you something.
Uh-oh.
What would you think about someone who ate tape?
You said what?
Somebody who like chewed tape, you know.
Flame, right?
I've been eating tape since I was about 13.
Okay, so obviously a bizarre program. I had to call my dad about this. My dad is a psychiatrist and a psychotherapist, and I had a number of questions for him about this. And she goes on to say a lot of the different things about how she eats tape. I asked my dad, is this some kind of diagnosed mental illness? If so, what's the diagnosis? Is there treatment for it? There's a name for this generally called pica, okay? Now, pica is typically more common in kids, and it's usually eating non-nutritive stuff. So for some kids, it's peeling paint off the wall and eating that. For some kids, it's, I don't know, what else do kids eat? Glue or whatever it is in significant amounts. And it's not considered psychosis. It's actually considered a variant of a compulsive type of, obsessive compulsive disorder or some type of compulsion. In other words, the eating of this is not a psychotic thing, it's a compulsive thing. And interestingly enough, on the disease spectrum, it's often, many think that it's associated with some kind of epileptic type of condition, which is interesting as well.
Yep, I remember hearing a story about this, about a woman who ate the inside of cushions, like couch cushions, that material, the foam-like material, and yeah, it can really be anything.
Well, now you're talking about adults. So I asked my dad, what's the treatment? He says in children, it really just tends to kind of go away on its own, or sometimes it transforms itself into something else, like just kind of a more run-of-the-mill obsessive-compulsive disorder type of thing with a lot of routines and rituals and that type of thing. But that in adults, it's actually pretty difficult to improve upon. That if somebody has something like this at an adult age, it's not the type of thing that an antipsychotic or SSRIs or any of those types of medications will really help, and that there's not that much that can really be done. I guess the idea would be some kind of effective psychotherapy that could rationalize the person's thinking into no longer needing to do this. I don't know.
My question is, at what point does this catch up with you physically,
I don't
biologically?
know.
I mean, aren't you going to get like stomach cancer or intestinal cancer, some type of nasty infection? I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
Your body can't properly digest this stuff, right?
It is very odd. It can't be good for you. Although I would be curious to see what is the real difference to the body from eating tape to eating some highly, highly processed foods that are out there.
Probably not too different.
I would bet that it's not that different, don't you think, Natan?
Yeah, in fact, there's something called geophagy, I think is the pronunciation, which is eating dirt, which obviously if someone does it in the United States, it's considered to be a mental disorder. But, in the old days, in different cultures around the world, they used to do it. And there are some associated health benefits with eating dirt, assuming that the dirt isn't laced with, biochemical poisons.
Interesting.
Yeah, so something to think about.
Yes, some people do eat dirt, not like a plate full of dirt, but, when they're cooking and doing other things, like the dirt is just kind of there and it's just kind of consumed.
Well, Natan, you're saying something different than just there's some...
Yeah, no, I'm talking about taking the dirt and eating it with or without having cooked it first. And I don't know, there's some evidence that it helps, the bacteria in the soil helps to train your immune system and things like that.
Well, I don't know that I would eat raw dirt, but if it was sautéed, I would probably have dirt.
Yeah, like some nice dirt teriyaki.
If it was properly seasoned.